Cape Cod Broadcasting weaves the listening environments of 99.9 WQRC, Ocean 104.7, WFCC Classical 107.5, Cape Country 104, and CapeCon.com's website experience to reflect the lifestyles of the people who live, work, and play on Cape Cod. We hope that you enjoy this podcast.
I'm Matt McCarthy, and this is Sunday Journal. I'm joined this morning by Ellen Spear, president of Heritage Museums and Gardens in Sandwich. Heritage has a lot of additions coming up, and we'll talk about that this morning. Ellen, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
Now, you have a lot of different projects going on at Heritage and that you're undertaking at the moment. Wondering if you could just kind of give it to us in a nutshell. So much going on. Wondering if you could kind of share that with us.
What we're really excited about is that this is the beginning of our new STEM preschool. STEM stands for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Math. And we are delighted to have been working with our colleagues in the education community, with the Sandwich Public Schools, with the Sandwich Public Library, and with our colleagues all across the state to create a unique approach to having kids wonder about the natural world and come out of it more prepared for kindergarten than ever before and success in school.
And for those who might not be aware of what a STEM program is, wondering if you could share that with us.
Sure. We're not going to have the kids doing quadratic equations. No. What it
not
means,
yet.
Not yet. We take that natural wonder that children have, and it's what's called in education jargon an inquiry-based method. So at the beginning of the day when the kids come in, and kids play, that's how they learn at that age, they have a hypothesis for the day, and they begin to learn those scientific words and what do they mean. So their hypothesis for the day might be that leaves turn orange when it gets cold. And then they'll spend the day researching that hypothesis, looking at books, reading stories, playing, observing outside, let's say, and keeping a journal in whatever way they can. Some kids can't write or read yet, but they might do it through pictures to begin to develop the discipline of that scientific method and to learn what it's all about through play.
And this is a very unique program. I'm sure you've gotten a lot of interest from parents and from people in the community about this program.
We have. The preschool curriculum and the discussion about preschools on a state level is looking at how to infuse more STEM readiness into preschool programs of all types. So our charge was to create a curriculum that anybody could deliver. What will happen to this curriculum once we use it this year is that we'll be working with professionals all across the state to give them pieces of this curriculum and to train them on how to use it.
And STEM standing for Science, Technology, Engineering, and Mathematics?
That's right.
And Sandwich High School, I believe, has also switched to a STEM-based program. So obviously you're based in Sandwich, so a lot of tie-ins there.
That's where the conversation first happened. I and Superintendent Richard Canfield talked about how could we ready children to succeed in that STEM academy that they're doing in the best way possible.
And obviously you're launching this program this fall. I believe you got some state funding for it back in the spring, but still also fundraising for this program as well?
Yes, we were one of several organizations that won a competitive grant to look at new approaches to STEM curriculum. So this curriculum will, again, be available to whether you have a preschool at home or whether you're an established larger institution. We hope that over time people will adopt and embrace this approach.
And this is an approach that's a little different because, as you mentioned, we were talking about earlier Sandwich High School and a lot of other high schools around the country looking at more STEM-based education, but at the preschool level, that's a little different.
Yeah, and it's the approach that we're using works not only for STEM, but for any area of inquiry. It's developing that habit of mind that scientists and curious learners, I'd like to call them curious learners, have. There are people who love to learn throughout their lives, and the seeds of that are planted when they're very young, to learn how to ask questions, to learn how to observe the natural world, to learn how to test their theories, how to research. Those are great skills for people who are going to succeed in the 21st 21st century.
And you've launched this preschool this fall. How many children do you have enrolled in the program?
We have 14 right now. We can have 40, so there are spaces left. And if people would like to learn more about it, they can get in touch with us at heritagemuseums.org. There's a website space. There's also, they can call our main number. And we'd love to talk with parents. They can be enrolled at any time during the year.
We're talking with Ellen Spear. She's the president of Heritage Museums and Gardens in Sandwich. I'm Matt McCarthy. You're listening to Sunday Journal. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. Not only do you have this STEM-based preschool that you've launched this fall, a lot of other events going on at Heritage, a lot of projects that you're undertaking, the Aerial Adventure Park that you're considering moving forward here. Wondering if you could kind of talk a little bit about that as well.
Sure. There's no considering about it. This will move forward, and it will open next Memorial Day. And what it is, parents have come to us, and this relates to the STEM preschool also, because they've come to Hidden Hollow, which is our outdoor adventure experience, if you will, for kids and families from 0 to about 8 years old. And it's a way for families to get together and rediscover the joy of being outside together. It has been tremendously successful. It launched in 2011. There's a giant tree house. There's music. There are all kinds of features in the natural world. There are beautifully planted gardens, and it's in a beautiful natural setting to make people really aware of nature. So parents have said to us, what do we do when kids are 8 years old? This is such a great experience, and older. Can you do something for us that extends that joy of being outside together, that discovery about the natural world that we found is really important to our family? So we came upon the Aerial Adventure Experience, which is a series of trails, if you will, only they're above the ground and in the treetops. And it's a bit of a challenge to get from one piece of the trail to the next piece of a trail. But it's set on a wonderful setting where Charles Dexter used to do his work hybridizing rhododendrons. So the new plants that have never been seen before here, or for almost 100 years, are magnificent. And it's a way that families and kids, again, can continue to enjoy nature together.
And that'll also include some climbing trails, as you said. I believe the zip line planned as well. So a lot of things planned with this aerial adventure exhibit.
It's all part of the same thing. And again, the idea is to get you up above the tree level to begin to look at nature from a different perspective. When you're down on the forest floor, it's difficult to see what the landscape is, and it's difficult to kind of put it all together. So by getting up a little bit, you have a new respect for nature. You have a new respect for the land.
And now some residents have expressed some concerns about it. And what would you say to those people who are opposed to the aerial adventure exhibit?
What we're really focused on at this point is creating the best kind of exhibit and experience that we possibly can. One thing that is important to us is to make an experience that is within a Cape Cod setting and that is within the scale that's appropriate to Cape Cod. If you go to the western part of the state, there are big giant trees, and you can do trails higher in the trees. Cape Cod, our trees are shorter, so you have to do things that are within scale and within the size of what we have to work with.
Now, some people have also expressed concern about the noise level of people being involved in this, but I think your argument is it's more of a small scale thing, more of a quieter example of that.
I don't have any argument at all. I've actually gone and heard them because it was really important for our board, especially, to do something responsible in the community and of the high level of quality that Heritage has become known for. Hidden Hollow, as people know who have experienced it, really high quality family experience. So we went to look at other aerial adventure experiences that are different in size and in scope, but the same basic idea. And what we came away with is how respectful they are for the land, how quiet they are because people are up in the trees. It's not a thrill ride. It's an adventure and a walking and a nature experience, the same kind of thing you'd get walking on a nature trail, only you're high up.
And some changes to roads, I think, will also be needed, and you've proposed those. Wondering if you could talk a little bit about the changes to the roads around Heritage.
Sure, and I want to make clear that the aerial adventure and our proposed road changes have nothing to do with each other. What we've been working on for some time, since the 3 years that I've been at Heritage, I've been concerned that in our front entrance, there's what we've been calling a bow tie, or a place where 4 roads come together. And it's an important public safety issue that we feel like we needed to find a plan to cure. And we do believe that we have that plan now where we would reroute, working with the town. We are proposing to reconfigure and reroute 2 small sections of road, 150 feet of Pine Street to make it T into Pocasset Street, and 500 feet of Shawm Road to make it T into Pocasset. These are not new roads. It's just rerouting where the roads go. That would free up the use of the bow tie so that we'd no longer use it, and it would eliminate some really difficult sight lines where buses need to stop and children and elders need to walk across a main road. We'd like to get children and cars off the streets so that people can come into a reconfigured parking lot that this would allow so that they can safely get out of their vehicles.
And now, are those road changes, are they finalized, or do you still need approval from the town? Because obviously, anytime you're dealing with roads, it's a whole big process.
Oh, of course, it's town roads, and we're just at the beginning of the discussion. And what we've made clear to our neighbors is we really would love to work with them and make sure that we get a solution to this public safety issue that works for everybody.
Now, I believe you also have some state funding that you could have if the road changes are decided upon. I believe you have some state funding coming from that as well?
Yes, there is state funding, so it won't cost the Sandwich taxpayers any additional increases.
I'm Matt McCarthy, and this is Sunday Journal. I'm talking with Ellen Spear. She's the president of Heritage Museums and Gardens in Sandwich, and of course, Heritage has a lot of additions coming up. Ellen, you've got so much going on. We've talked about the STEM-based preschool. We've also talked about the aerial adventure exhibit, but you have so many other things going on. Wondering if you could share a little bit that you have going on at Heritage right now.
Oh, I'd be happy to. It's a really exciting year that we are finishing up, and next year we will, of course, have gardens aglow between Thanksgiving and the New Year this year. So every weekend between Thanksgiving and the New Year on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday evenings, we're going to light up the garden with more lights than ever before. We had 6 miles of lights last year. We're going to have more lights even this year. So it's a wonderful family experience for people to come and, again, enjoy that joy of being outside together in the cold weather. So that's exciting to finish up the year. Next year, I think you're the first person I've said this to, we're going to have an exhibit of 3 generations of the Wyeth family next year. They are probably America's first family of art. N.C. Wyeth, the great illustrator, Andrew and Jamie Wyeth, who is still with us. They've done wonderful American art that really speaks to an American and family experience. So it's going to be a terrific exhibit. And those paintings and drawings in the exhibit will mostly be drawn from private collections. So they're things that people have not seen in museums before. And outside, the big bugs are going away, I'm sad to say. But in their place, we are reaching out to artists and architects to create contemplative shelters because the Wyeth work really talks about home. So we're asking these artists to create 100-square-foot small contemplative spaces made out of whatever materials they like, and they'll be placed around the grounds as pieces of sculpture.
And the Wyeth exhibit, that's fascinating. How did that come about?
We listen to what our visitors are telling us. Our Heritage's mission is to inspire people of all ages to explore, discover, and learn together. And what we do is celebrate American culture. And we couldn't think of an artistic family more illustrative of American culture than the Wyeths. And we began to connect with people in private collections and some smaller institutions that had these wonderful works. And we thought these works have never been brought to Cape Cod before. So we think it's an important thing that we're doing for the community to bring really great international art to Cape Cod.
And when will that exhibit be starting?
That's starting in June of next year.
And how long will it run?
Through the end of October.
And you mentioned Gardens Aglow, one of your bigger events over the course of the year. You said going to be even bigger this year, so you must be very excited about that.
More lights. And we're also excited that the carousel is now back. People have told us they missed the carousel this year. We were doing renovations to the building that it's in to protect it. There are new windows because glass and getting the sunlight into artifacts is really kind of a dangerous situation for the artifacts. So we had to do that. We needed a new roof. That building hadn't had a new roof in almost 45 years. So to be good stewards of our artifacts and our beautiful carousel, we needed to do that work. And of course, one wing is where the 100-acre school is, which is our STEM preschool. And imagine going to a 100-acre school as a preschool student and being able to ride on a carousel every day. But the carousel is back and open, and people can come and visit anytime.
Yeah, you certainly can't beat that. I didn't have any carousels at my preschool.
Me either.
Yeah. And for people who haven't been to Gardens Aglow, wondering if you could just talk a little bit about the event as a whole. Obviously, it's coming up, this winter, and
sure.
And for the folks who haven't been there, wondering if you could just share what it's all about.
Sure. Gardens Aglow is a time when we take our beautiful public gardens and we light them up. We do beautiful light displays that really accentuate the trees and the holiday feeling. In our round barn, we invite community groups to come in and present music and dance, and it's wonderful to come see the kids doing the Nutcracker Ballet, excerpts from it, and great music presentations. We have fire pits where people can make s'mores together, and we have in one of our exhibit buildings, we have holiday ideas. Last year we had this beautiful dining room set up, as all decorated for the holidays, so you can get design ideas. We have demonstrations to learn how to do holiday crafts. We also have crafts that you can make and take at home as well. And the carousel is all lit up.
And I know you had mentioned the Big Bugs, which has been a very popular exhibit. I know you said it's going away. When will the Big Bugs exhibit be done, or is it already done?
It'll be there till the end of October.
Oh, okay. So the folks who maybe have not seen it, wondering, I know we had you on the program talking about it when it launched, very exciting stuff, but wondering for the folks who may not have seen it or may not have heard it, wondering if you could share what that exhibit's about, because it has been very popular for you.
Oh, it's great. If you haven't seen it, it's really fun. There are 10 giant bugs made out of natural materials by an artist named David Rogers. And what David has done is sort of switched our perspective again. If you have an ant that's 10 feet off the ground and 25 feet long, it makes you think very differently the next time one runs across your table of whether you're going to smush it or not. And the bugs really allow us to see the world in a different way. And because there are 10 of them, we give families maps, and they go all around the grounds to try to find each one of them. There's a giant praying mantis. There's a daddy longlegs right at our entrance. And I think everybody who's come to Cape Cod and come to Heritage this summer has a picture of their family underneath this daddy longlegs that's going to be in their family album from their vacation this summer. It's really quite wonderful.
Well, Ellen Spear, the president of Heritage Museums and Gardens, joining us here this morning. Unfortunately, we're just about time here on Sunday Journal, but thank you so much for coming in and chatting about all the exciting things you have going on, and best of luck moving forward to you.
My pleasure.
I'm Matt McCarthy, and this is Sunday Journal.
This podcast is a presentation of Cape Cod Broadcasting, which is solely responsible for its content. Thank you for listening. For more information, please visit us at capecodbroadcasting.com.